Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural voyage. Or I should say maiden voyage. I'll edit this.
Should I be hitting buttons?
No, you're fine. Welcome to LoafCraft, where we pick a beer and we attempt to build a sandwich around it to complement its flavors. Today, we are checking out Stygian Descent, which is from Stone. This is started off as their self-righteous black IPA that they went and aged in Rye Whiskey Barrels. So that's going to give us a bit of a hop back, and it's going to give us a little bit of that sweetness from the rye barrel age. So it's going to be kind of a complicated sandwich we're going to have to build for this bad boy. So we'll try to see what we can do without overpowering the flavors, but still complementing it. To preface this, I've never actually had this beer. Or actually, I think I have, but I completely forgot how it tastes. We're going to be kind of, making this up on the fly. I'm thinking we go with something spicy. Our protein's thinking like a grilled chicken.
You're using chicken because chicken's what I want.
And from there, we're going to add a bunch of spice to it. I've got some Bitchen sauce, which is going to be awesome with that. We're going to make kind of a coleslaw top. And I can give it kind of a southern style with a Carolina twist to it. Again, never done this. So I found this recipe for an apple cider vinegar coleslaw, and we're going to go ahead and throw that together real quick. 4 cups coleslaw. Sounds about right. That's on point. It's nice. 1 cup shredded carrots. No, we're not doing that. We don't have any shredded carrots. Actually, do we have carrots?
We do have carrots. They are not shredded.
Ow!
Did you actually cut yourself?
Shredding's dangerous.
Oh, my finger was over the thing that was recording you. Sorry. Holding a camera is harder than it seems. I should have volunteered to shred the carrot.
Daddy, shred the carrot.
1/4 cup apple cider vinegar. Ugh! God, this stuff is horrible. This is why you need a strong beer. There you go.
Okay, you shorted the cup.
You can tilt up and see my face. There you go. The recipe calls for maple syrup, but I'm gonna swap that out and actually go with agave. Ah, crap, they put a child safety thing on this. It's always the toughest part of preparing a sandwich. That's good. I prefer the taste because it's all the good parts of tequila without the horrible hangover and the sadness and regret. Much tastier than something like maple syrup.
More pretentious sounding.
It's far more pretentious sounding, which gives your sandwich a little bit of a nice classic pedigree, which is important when dealing with sandwiches.
Did you need teaspoons or tablespoons?
I don't know. How many teaspoons in a tablespoon? We should look that up.
Like 4? I don't know.
Hey Siri, how many teaspoons in a tablespoon?
Sorry, I can't tell.
All right, there's 3 teaspoons.
Oh,
All
I
right,
was close.
5,
and
6.
perfect. I'm gonna do something here. It is the best way to actually mix something. You take a bowl, cap it, shake it. Ta-da! That's beautiful. Beautifully mixed. I don't need the rest of the crap. Dry mustard. Ground celery. Just a little bit of celery seed. Sea salt. That looks about right. And ground pepper. Tap it again. Shake it. And that is a disgusting looking batch of coleslaw.
Disgusting.
But the real question is, do we screw it up? That's actually pretty damn good. Alright. Alright. I think we're onto something here. Let's keep going. Next up, our protein. Cut it. Since we're dealing with stone beer, and we're going to be making kind of a Chipotle mix on the chicken, I'm thinking we do a little bit of stone pale ale ground mustard with chipotle peppers. If you haven't had this stuff is incredible. It's one of my favorite mustards out there. So we're gonna take just a little bit of it, throw it into the coleslaw, mix it in there. It's gonna bring, hopefully, out more of that mustard flavor. God, that's good. Always sniff your mustard.
Sniff your own mustard.
That's what, like 1/4 teaspoon?
That's clearly an entire teaspoon.
Just gonna mix it in there just a little bit. Yep, that was way better. Let's give that a little bit of kick to it. That's perfect. Awesome. All right, next up, we got the chicken. Let's grab a piece or 2. And now we gotta shred this thing. Shredded chicken, take it, throw it in the bowl. So this is a very important part. Take a little tiny piece, feed to the dog. Next, got the Bitchen sauce. Made with almonds, and then they add Chipotle to it. It's delicious. It's really good, and it goes awesome with chicken. So you grab a bit, probably 3. Go ahead. This is really important. With any time that I'm dealing with protein like this, you're gonna want to take your sauce, whatever base that you go with, and you just coat the chicken like that. I don't understand it when they take the chicken and they put the sauce on top of it. Screw that. You know, you gotta get it all together. The protein should, if you're gonna have a sauce or something like that, it's gotta be in there. And then you get this big lump of just deliciousness. Since we're going to be dealing with a really, really strong beer, I'm gonna wanna be putting some bigger flavors in here. And again, we're gonna keep going with spice. So what I'm adding on top of this, to keep with the stone theme, we're throwing in some double bastard. It's made with a double burn habanero, made with double bastard. Let's put a little bit of that on top. That's gonna show itself in 12 to 18 hours through the other end. It's a poop joke. Nothing from the peanut gallery on that one.
Laugh when you probably should too.
Thanks. That's looking good. We got a rogue carrot in there from the coleslaw previously. Whatever, we're golden. Most important, bread. All right, you got your loaf. You got your sweet shun knife, specifically designed just for sandwiches. We're gonna go ahead and cut it, toast it, get ready to build this thing. Let's get to toasting. All right, I'm just gonna throw a little bit of cheese on here. This is an 1833 Barber's Reserve. It's an aged cheddar, sharp, strong cheddar. Hopefully we won't kill this thing with the cheddar, but it's a really good flavor, so we'll see. Being from California, we put avocado on everything, so naturally, I think a little bit of layer of avocado is gonna go really well on this. Off. Jesus. Take your avocado, your totally sweet sandwich knife. All right, so how we're gonna be doing this is we're gonna put on our protein on the bottom here. Layering is always critical in dealing with a sandwich. Scoop that here. We're gonna put the coleslaw on top of it, and then the avocado is gonna be on the coleslaw side, not on the protein side, because that creaminess hopefully is gonna play very well with what we got going on with the coleslaw flavor. And this could all be a complete bust because we don't know if it plays with the beer or not. Throw that on there and spread it out even. And since we're dealing with an apple cider base on the coleslaw, you're gonna get a lot of this gross sludge. You can sprinkle a little bit of that on the sandwich because I did that accidentally and I'm gonna melt like I do it. Layer it on there. This is probably one of the more pungent ingredients. Smell it. You got the apple that goes with poultry really well. And now, all that's left is combine this thing. That is our sandwich. Let's see how it pairs. Peers.
Yeah, you gotta work on that one.
I'm a trailblazer. All right, since we're dealing with a black IPA, I've decided to go with an IPA glass. Now this is rye barrel aged and it's a higher gravity, so you can totally serve this in a sniffer and you'd be totally fine. The other thing about opening, especially aged bottles, and the most important tool when it comes to these is pliers. Grab that, just work the cork a little bit. That cute little gargoyle on the bottom. Stone. All right, you got a lot of whiskey on the nose there. Let's see. So, Stygian descent. Stygian basically means dark, gloomy, so you're dealing with a dark descent. So, yes, this is going to pour very, very dark. Pop it down a little bit, give it a nice head. There we go. Now this was aged for this was aged 6 months in Kentucky Rye Whiskey Barrels. And this was bottled on January 2014. And today is February of 2017. So it's got a couple of years on it. Normally you don't age an IPA like that, but again, we're dealing with a high gravity, We're dealing with something that's already spent a lot of time in rye whiskey, so I think it's going to hold up just fine. It's looking good. We're not dealing with flat. Again, we're getting a lot of that whiskey note. Well, we may have overplayed the sandwich. We'll see. Or I would say you get a lot of whiskey up front, and then you got that hoppy back of that self-righteous IPA. We're dealing with Stone, which loves to hop the ever-loving crap out of their beers. So it's a real sweet kind of floral note of those hops that you're getting. That's perfect. All right, let's see how it plays with the sandwich. First bite. We'll see how we screw this up. Holy crap, that's delicious. Dude, we nailed this thing. With this, you got that sweetness kind of playing off the agave. Oh, this is an excellent combo. I think we nailed it. I think we created a really badass, delicious sandwich that paired nicely with a black IPA that's been cellared for, 3 years. Already 6 months in the barrel. That's great. If you find yourself a shelf turd and you get your hands on a Stygian Descent, or if you're dealing with any kind of barrel-aged IPA, I highly recommend going with something, a sandwich that's going to be playing off that hop character that you're going to get on the back end of the beer to really cut through that spiciness, but still have that whiskey front. Ciabatta bread is excellent. This is very good. Perfect. So if you end up making this, or you go ahead and you get yourself a beer like that, let me know if you do any sort of variations to it, try different things, make changes to it. But either way, cheers.
Good dinner?
You did an amazing dinner. Like, there is nothing better than a beer and a sandwich. I wish I did something more with the cheese though. I mean, it's a pungent cheese. You got a lot of funk to it. So we may have to bring that cheese back and do it with like a fruit sour.
You're bringing funky back?
I'm bringing funky back. Some would say funky never really left.
Some would say someone else already brought sexy back.
I've kept Sepsi alive and well right here.
I don't even know what to say to that. Enjoy your sandwich.